How do you evaluate an outing like this? What do you feel overall?
It was an interesting outing for sure. I guess tried to get after it a little too hard, especially in the second and third inning. Found I was just wanting it a little too bad sometimes, which kind of resulted in those yanked changeups. But we were really good at making adjustments. Darno kept calling it because we knew that you got to keep throwing it, you got to keep going, and I felt like once I got on the fourth, things loosened up. Things really started to flow again. Felt more athletic. Made some good adjustments, so I was really happy with that.
You had a couple of walks in Bradenton that you thought were really close pitches. What about the 3 walks today? Were they?
Nope. 2 of them were pretty uncompetitive, and then the last one I knew was my last batter, so it was more or less. I wanted to field changeup. I think I threw him three, maybe 4. So that was a little bit of a different one,
right.
But no, those 2 walks, those are misexecutions.
But only 1 hit allowed, so overall.
Yep. Yeah, it was a little interesting because you always talk about effective wildness, and I think today most of my mistakes were outside the strike zone, so it wasn't ones that I could get hurt on, so that's okay too sometimes.
As you walk away from this window and you may have 2 left, what do you want to be done in these next 2? Is there anything you have to look at the next one as basically your last real start? If you may back down the last one.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about continuing what I felt in the 4th inning today. Feeling nice and loose and like I said, athletic, and the feel came back to me. I felt like, I was searching for a lot of things in the 2nd and 3rd inning, and then kind of stopped trying too hard and just let it happen. So continue on that. Obviously, results matter always, but definitely the feel. I need the feel back for sure.
Overall, through a handful of starts, do you feel like you're where you want to be with a couple of weeks to go here now?
Yeah, for sure. I think again, coming into today, having pitched well last outing, but not necessarily getting the results. This one was maybe a little too results driven for me to start, and that's why things kind of felt a little more difficult than they should have, just from a physical side. But being there with arm speed, all 4 pitches have been there throughout the spring, so it's just about kind of bringing them all into one, and again, using these last 2 outings for what we can get out of them, and make sure that complete package is there on opening weekend.
Have you allowed yourself to think about what it'll be like to pitch on opening day?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you always got to think of those possibilities whenever you're envisioning things for the future. You always put yourself in people's shoes. When you're watching TV, you're watching whatever. You always like to think that that's going to be you out there one day. So, I thought about that lots, and if I get that opportunity, that'd be amazing, and be able to go out there and be loose and relaxed and let it fly.
You mentioned the feeling in that 4th inning. Is there anything for you particularly, like a specific pitch or seeing something exactly that's like, okay, now this is it, now I'm locked in?
Yeah, a lot of it, I talk about feel, and a lot of it's feel off my hand, off my fingers. The 2-strike, 2-seam I threw Diaz was exactly where we need that pitch to be. And then a couple breaking balls, my wrist kind of fell around them like they should. So, you could see it, and the hitters will tell you a lot of the time too. You'll start to see early commitments. That means it's coming out of your hand, right? As opposed to early on in the game, it just seemed like there was a little bit of hesitation in their minds when I was throwing my off speed, and that just meant it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. So we figured that out though.